Shakespeare's Measure for Measure has been called a problem play. And I always say, what's the problem? I think it's fascinating. I think it's one of his most brilliant plays. And it's not performed that often, I think because it's tricky, it's difficult, and it contains two things that our mothers always taught us that we should never bring up in polite company, and that's sex and politics. And Measure for Measure is chock full of both, which makes it a very exciting evening at the theater. Um, we get to meet Isabel and Angelo, a man and a woman who seem to be diametrically opposed, but are actually almost the same person, in that they've both chosen a rather extreme viewpoint. And the Duke, who's in the middle of this, observing their behavior and observing how an extreme can affect his country. Um, when we first come to Vienna, it's corrupt, it's licentious, uh, it's filled with whores and pimps, and society is really falling apart. Um, and the Duke puts Angelo in as his deputy and sort of basically runs away. And Angelo is a sort of a Puritan, a man who's been untouched and never fallen in love and doesn't understand why people have to be in lust. He doesn't get it. So he comes to power and starts to enforce all of these very rigorous laws. In fact, Isabella's young brother, Claudio, merely for sleeping with his fiancée and making her pregnant, is now going to have his head cut off. And that's the start of the play.